Hello everybody, just getting my morning lake swim in. What is the best racing swimsuit? Cody, what racing suit should I buy? Today we are gonna dive into that. It just started pouring on me, so we're gonna head inside and move into the office. I am a Speedo athlete because the fastest way to swim through the water, the best racing suits are made by Speedo. Racing suits are better designed and more durable than ever before. Fortunately, thanks to Speedo's laser technology, these things will make you swim your absolute fastest and they will last. In this laser racing suit line, we have the Valor racing suit style and the Intent racing suit style. Let's talk about these. The Valor suit is the thinner and more lighter weight of the two racing suits. It's definitely more flexible. I tend to see swimmers who race 200 meters and above wearing these more regularly. Like for example, if I was racing a 200 IM or a 200 breaststroke, this is the suit that I would wear. I feel like it has the right amount of leg compression for a longer wear, but that's just my opinion because, you know, I also see some 50 freestylers wearing the Valor over the Intent, but you know, that's just my opinion. If I was wearing a racing suit for an hour and a half, like if I was a younger swimmer, an age group swimmer who sometimes wears their racing suit for multiple hours in one session, this would probably be a more comfortable fit for me. But once again, I still see lots of people wearing the Intent for long periods of time as well. Now the laser Intent is much thicker. It's 2-ply. So if you look at the inside, you see the black layer there as well. So it is thicker. It's definitely got more compression in the lower quad in this area, and the main difference are these bands that run particularly the seams through the back, right down the back of the hamstring right there. I've talked to Caleb and Zach Apple and other butterflyers that say that this back band right here, this laser seam that runs right down the back of the hamstrings, which the Valor does not have. Some people like that extra compression back there because it actually helps keep that kick moving. The gold laser seams that run down the side, more compression there. If I'm racing a 50 freestyle, this is the suit that I'm gonna wear because I'm gonna want a little more compression, I'm gonna want it a little more snug, and I don't need quite as much range of motion. Because you have the double ply and those gold seams that run down the side for that added compression, you don't have quite as much range of motion as you would with the Valor racing suit. Now, once again, my fellow Olympic breaststroke teammate, Kevin, when he swam in the Olympics and at World Championships, this is the suit he wore. He wore the tighter suit, even for the 200 and up. So it's all based on preference. How much compression do you want? Okay, so the inner gel layer around the cutoff of the bottom part of the suit right here, on the Intent, once again, the gold stripped suit, it's much tighter. There's not as much room, see that? There's not as much movement there, versus the Valor, there's a lot more room for movement. You see that? Boom, boom, boom. It's much more flexible. Some guys I know want this part of the suit to be really, really tight, to be really squeezing that bottom part, like the VMO muscle in your lower quad. They want that tight. I like it to be a little bit looser, which is why I like that aspect of the Valor, the flexibility there. Now, if I had to choose, if you said, Cody, gun to your head, you can only wear the Valor or the Intent for the rest of your life, which racing suit would you wear? I would probably say the Valor, just because I like that extra flexibility and that lightweight feeling. You see, the thing with me is, as a breaststroker, my legs are gonna open much more than most swimmers, right? And so having that extra flexibility of the Valor allows me to get this part of the suit, right, the crotch of the suit, to really hug my groin really, really snug, nice and tight. I can really pike this thing all the way up there so that there's no gap between the upper part of my quads and my crotch area. You need that thing nice and snug. But if you're swimming freestyle or butterfly and your legs aren't separating, you don't have to pull it up quite as high. You don't have to hike it all the way up. Like, you can have a little bit of a gap there and it's not a big deal, which is why I think a lot of freestylers and butterflyers wear this suit. Now, I say that as a breaststroker, but like I said, I know other breaststrokers that still race in the Intent, that still like the added compression of the gold seams. One thing that I love about both of these suits, and this is a new piece of technology that older suits didn't have previously, that Speedo implemented, is the rubber lining around the top of the suit. As you can see, so there's 2 layers, there's 2 strips of rubber that run all the way around. Because of these rubber strips, it is nice and snug. So no water's getting in the front or the back when you dive in, because it's held right in place perfectly. And that's what you want, right? The one thing you want when you dive in the water, you don't want any water to get in your suit, and you don't want any movement, and having that double layer prevents anything from getting in. As far as durability goes, let me tell you something. A very long time ago, years and years and years ago, I ripped a number of racing suits, like a good number of racing suits. I've actually got a really funny story about that sometimes I tell when I do events like clinics and banquets. However, with the introduction of the laser racing suit, with these suits, I have never once ripped either an Intent or a Valor. Not once. Looking at these racing suits through the eyes of a consumer, right? As a parent who's gonna buy 1 or 2 racing suits for your kids for the year, right? Like you just wanna buy 1 racing suit for the season. What do you buy? Honestly, both the Intent and the Valor are good purchases because they're both gonna last you more than 1 season, like no problem whatsoever. The Valor will get more flexible and looser with time. I prefer that. I actually like that. Some people want their suits to stay tighter for longer. I'm not talking about the fabric, right? The fabric is gonna hold up. The fabric on these suits, both suits, is rock solid. So like the Intent could last you for years. I mean, you put it on, you break it in, you have a couple races, and then it's gonna fit the same and feel fast. I mean, probably for years. Everything else being equal, which suit do you get? The Intent probably will last longer, once again, just because it's thicker, just because of that double ply and those extra tight seams. But the Valor will also last a long time. True story, I've gone in season best times in the Valor suit that I had worn 20, 25 plus times. So I personally like when it gets a little stretched out, because both of these suits are going to repel water really well. All swimmers know what it's like when you dive in the water and it has that fresh suit glow and the suit kind of lights up. You know, it's got that shimmery color on it. You know what I'm talking about when you look at the high-res photos of amazing Olympians like Caleb right here from underwater, and it's got that little glow. I mean, the water repellent material is gonna last. It's for both suits, right? It's the same. It's just, you know, which fit do you prefer? Which style fit do you prefer? And if you've never bought a suit before, or you're looking into buying your first Speedo racing suit and you're like, okay, which racing suit should I get, the Valor or the Intent? Although there are a number of differences that I have talked about, the biggest factor it really comes down to is compression. How much compression do you want as a swimmer? What are you comfortable with? If you want lots of compression, then you're going with the Intent. Less compression, a lighter feel, and maybe a little more flexibility, then you're going with the Valor. The next time I dive in the water for a race, it will be in this bad boy right here. This is their newest print, and it's looking pretty sleek. I'm thinking about throwing an entry in the 400 IM, in which I'm gonna be wearing this Valor. But we will get into that later. I hope you enjoyed this short video and have a little better of an understanding of the differences between the Intent and the Valor laser racing suit. There is a link down below to the Speedo site so you can see all the different Speedo racing suits available. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. Let me know what you guys think down below. And until our next video, I will see you all later.